Hello, everyone. So last week, I made a video about a mod that I think is a really nice mod, a medieval 1100 AD for Rome 2. And I mentioned how much I liked the mod, how much I enjoyed it in a lot of ways more than medieval 1212 for medieval 2, or for Attila, because it's based on the Rome 2 engine. It's a little more optimized. The start date, I think, is a little more engaging. I prefer the earlier start date. And I talked about a lot of things I liked about medieval 1100 AD. But I also talked about what I felt was a huge immersion breaker in the mod. And that is the city placement. And, I lamented the fact that, Rome 2's map is not editable. And at least as far as I knew. And that, some mod projects like Rise of Mordor and even Medieval 1212 are working on tools to do this. But I mean, it's been so many years and I have yet to see something super convincing on that front. And in any case, it's not nearly as moddable as like something like Rome Remastered. So in any case, but Starsmil, the modder for Medieval 1100, has done it. So remember, Portugal's capital here was Lisbon, and it was down here in the south. And I said that, Lisbon was not under the control of the county of Portugal in 1100 AD. It was under the control of the Taifa of, it was under the Almoravid control. And Portugal's capital was at Guimarães up here. And it didn't make sense to have Lisbon as the capital. And of course, for a lot of areas, that's a huge problem. So, for example, Constantinople's position was not great. Now it's been improved. But in any case, you might notice here that Portugal's capital has been changed to Braga. And that city was actually in Portuguese control at this time, so that is a wonderful change. And not only has the modder Starsmil been able to make this change, but he has also changed the location of Krakow in Poland. He's also made some changes to Constantinople, a few other cities, as well as Kilikia. He changed the capital from Tarsus to Sis. Now, actually, in 1100 AD, Tarsus was not under the control of the Kilikian Armenians, so that's why I mentioned that the city should not be Tarsus in Kilikia. If you want to have the Kilikian Principality represented on the map, it should be Anazarbos or at least Sis, right, or Vahka or something. But in any case, that has been changed, and so that is great. And one other very nice change with this update is that, or one other thing about the mod is that one of its issues is that it doesn't have enough playable factions. Like, for example, there are a lot of factions that are simply not playable because they are in closed beta right now. So factions like the Kingdom of England, for example, are not playable, but there are some interesting factions playable, like the Duchy of Normandy. But it's just interesting that, England is not playable, but Duchy of Normandy is, right? And there are a lot of very cool factions that are still not playable. However, this update also adds the Kilikian Principality as a playable faction in medieval 1100 AD, and I think that's a very cool faction to add. It's a very, it's a tough start position, and it's another non-Catholic Christian faction, so adds, again, a lot to the diversity of the playable faction roster, and that is very cool. So, in any case, I am very happy about this. Now, the main issue with map modding in terms of the Rome 2 map is that the AI is connected to the map. The campaign AI pathfinding is very much connected to the vanilla map, so that's why it actually is possible, or it has been known for a while, that you can change the location of a city and put it wherever you want, right, on the map. However, the AI doesn't know that. That was the huge problem, and this is the problem with Attila's map as well. If you change the location of a city, the AI just doesn't know. It can't react. It can't besiege that city. Right? To the AI, it doesn't exist, or it exists in the place it was, rather than the new place you moved it to. And again, that's very limited map modding. I mean, coming from someone like me who enjoys Rome Total War Medieval 2 and editing the map in those ways, this is very limited map modding. But even that was not possible due to this AI issue. However, Starsmil, the modder for the main modder for Medieval 1100 AD and the team leader, he has somehow found a way to change the location of a settlement in a province, like in Kilikia or Portugal. And the AI actually understands that the location of the city has been changed. The AI can react to this change. So that is extremely cool. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Medieval 1100 AD is the first Rome 2 mod to incorporate such a massive change to the map. If I'm not mistaken. If I am, please correct me, because I'm not the most well informed in regards to Rome 2 modding. But this is huge, and really it gives this mod so much potential, because there are still cities that are not in a great position, right? So, for example, Barcelona is a bit odd. Aragon cannot be added to the map. Of course, that would be located over here somewhere, Jaca and Huesca, right? Zaragoza. Zaragoza's position should be somewhere here, but because you can't change this heavily forested mountainous area, you can't move Zaragoza to its correct position, right? Which is super unfortunate. There are so many things you still can't do. Venice is still a little south. Verona's okay, but Venice is too far south. That's partially due to Rome 2's city models being too large, right? So Verona actually, if Venice was in its correct position, they would kind of be overlapping. It would be a little odd, right? So it's not 100% perfect yet. But now that Starsmil has kind of figured out how to do this in a way where the AI can actually understand the changes the modder is making, that's a pretty incredible thing. And I give Starsmil and the Medieval 1100 AD all the credit in the world for making these changes, because, immersion starts with realism. It starts with, accuracy, right? And there are just certain things that are immersion breaking. People can overlook a lot of things, but if a famous city is obviously in the wrong place, that's like the #1 immersion breaker for me, right? When starting up a campaign, a Total War campaign. But now that problem is being rectified, and I think it will continue to be rectified. And the addition of the Kilikian Principality as a playable faction is, of course, another lovely bonus for the game. So I will be doing a playthrough of Medieval 1100 AD. I'm extremely happy with these changes. I'm so glad Starsmil was able to do this. Really, I think everyone should give Medieval 1100 a shot, because really it's an incredible team of modders there. The units look amazing, and it's something I hope to cover a little bit more on the channel. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider liking this video, consider subscribing to the channel, really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one later.